Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you just after Arsenal have booked their passage safely through to the knockout stages of the Europa League. Comfortable 3-0 win at Molde tonight. As you can see, I'm not in Norway, I'm in my house. COVID rules have prohibited us from going over there to cover the game as journalists, so watched it from the warmth of my house rather than the cold, bitter winds of Norway. But I have just been speaking to Mikel Arteta in his post-match press conference, so I thought I'd pop on here, do the usual post-match stuff, talk about the game a little bit, go through what Mikel Arteta has just had to say, and then give my player ratings. First of all, just apologies for the lighting. I know it's terrible in here, but I can't really do much about that, I'm afraid. So, like I said, very good win for Arsenal. Comfortable win. First half, not the best first half, although you could see there were signs of something happening in the first half. I thought it was brighter than we've seen from Arsenal in a while. Mikel Arteta obviously making a fair few changes. Nicolas Pepe did start despite his sending off against Leeds, as we expected. Reese Nelson was playing on the left, kind of played Lacazette as a number 10 role and Eddie Nketiah ahead of him. And I thought certainly the two wide players in the first half, although Arsenal didn't score in the first half, I thought they were decent. I thought Pepe especially was good. Nelson was very bright. Pepe very unlucky not to score with one effort, which curled just wide. Nelson had a shot saved as well after a nice little pass from Lacazette. So although it wasn't the best of opening 45 minutes, you could kind of see the signs that the players were on it a little bit and looking brighter than they have done in recent weeks in terms of an attacking sense. And then in the second half, they got much, much better. I thought Nicolas Pepe, fantastic goal to get things up and running. Perfect response from Pepe. He was so good all night. As I said, in the first half, he was really bright. In the second half, he was just played with so much intent. Just before his goal, he smacked one against the crossbar from 25 yards, so unlucky. But then a couple of minutes later, another one, a classic Pepe finish, bent into the far corner with that left foot of his. Really good. You could see by the reaction of the players how happy they were as well. They knew how much spotlight was on Pepe, given what happened at Leeds, given how everyone's been focusing on him in the last few days in the media. With Mikel Arteta's press conference, obviously very heavily focused on Pepe, so then everyone knew the kind of pressure that Pepe was under. Arteta had called for a response from him, and he certainly delivered. He was very, very good. His stats are just through the roof in terms of everything when you look at him. In terms of shots, he had 6 of them. In terms of key passes, he had 4 of them. Touches, he had 80. Duels, he had 20, just everywhere across it. Crosses, I think he had 12. You know, he was number 1 rank in all of those stats for Arsenal. In every area going forward, he was by far and away the standout player, and it was a fantastic goal, one he thoroughly deserved, and he was unlucky not to get a couple more during the game, and a couple of assists as well. So really good performance from Pepe. That goal was excellent in the second half. It sort of set the tone for Arsenal, and then Reese Nelson scored the second for some good play down the right by Joe Willock, who's enjoying himself in the Europa League, Joe Willock, this season. Good play down the right, good crossing, and really good intent from Nketiah to get in front of the defenders and Lacazette, actually, to get the finish and make it 2-0. I think that was his first European goal for Arsenal. And then the perfect finish as well, Balogun coming on 37 seconds after coming on, replacing Eddie Nketiah. Balogun gets his first Arsenal goal at a time when there's a lot of focus on him because of his contract, because of what Mikel Arteta had to say yesterday. So great moment for Balogun. You can see how much he enjoyed it. And it was Emil Smith-Rowe assist as well. So goal made in Hale End. And just a perfect way to finish what was a very good night for Arsenal. It's 4 wins from 4 in the Europa League now. They are through to the group stages. They're not through yet as group winners mathematically, but they will. Barring an absolute remarkable set of results in the final 2 games for them and for Rapid Vienna, then Arsenal are going through as group winners. So that will be confirmed. You'd expect after the next game, which is next week against Vienna at the Emirates. So very good night's work for Mikel Arteta and a very good night's work for Nicolas Pepe and Arsenal. So what did Mikel Arteta have to say in his press conference after the game? Well, I'll go through a few of the sort of key points, really. We'll start about Balogun. We'll start with Balogun because obviously he was a big talking point after that goal, and Mikel Arteta said after the game that Balogun wants to stay at Arsenal. He said he wants to stay and we want him to stay. We gave him the opportunity and he took it straight away. It's well deserved for the boy. He's working really hard. He's had difficult months with all the speculation around him. He's handled the situation in a really mature way. So nice comments from Mikel Arteta there on Balogun, and the fact he said he wants to say that's taking it up a little bit from what he had to say yesterday, Mikel Arteta. Those talks have been reopened about a new contract. Those talks did come to a close. As I said earlier in the year, in the summer, it looked like he was going to go. didn't leave, and Arsenal have now reopened talks with Balogun. They're trying to get him to stay, and Mikel Arteta now says that he does want to stay. So it'll be interesting to see how those talks progress over the next couple of weeks, potentially couple of months. I don't think it's going to be that easy to get him to stay, just because they've got to keep offering them the opportunities, And it'll be interesting now to see with passage through to the group stages. It'll be interesting to see what happens now with Balogun in the next two group stages. Will he get a start against Dundalk or Rapid Vienna? So it'll be interesting to see if Mikel Arteta sort of throws him another carrot, sort of dangles it out in front of him. So look, we're going to give you starts in the Europa League now to try and get him to stay. But certainly today, a special night for Balogun, and you could see by his reaction and his teammates' reaction about just how important a night it was for him. On Nicolas Pepe, Mikel Arteta, some really nice words, said, I'm really pleased. Obviously, after disappointing in something negative, you want to see a reaction and to stand out really quickly. I could see from the first minute from his body language that he was ready to act. I think he had a great performance. He scored a goal, could have scored another one or two. He created some great moments in the game and worked really hard for the team. I really liked it. I'm really pleased with that. Not much more to say than that. He also added that he wants to see that level, on a consistent basis from Pepe, and that is what we all want to see. Today was Pepe at his best. It's what excites us about Nicolas Pepe. It's why the frustrating performances from him, you're just like, because you know what he can do when he's on it, and today he was bang on it. I know a lot of people say, it was only against Molde, it was only in the Europa League, but still, he would have caused very good teams a lot of problems tonight with that sort of performance, and you just want to see him doing it on a regular basis. Obviously, we're not going to see him for the next 3 games in the Premier League, which is a bit of a frustration. But certainly if he can come back and have a little bit of a rest now and then come back and put in these type of performances in the Premier League, then it's going to really help Arsenal. Because let's face it, when Pepe plays well, they are a far better team because he adds so much in terms of an attacking sense, not just with his goals, but his creativity, with his directness, with his unpredictability. They're just a better team with Nicolas Pepe in it and Nicolas Pepe playing well. Big night for Reese Nelson. Got his first European goal, as I said, and it could be a big couple of weeks for Reese Nelson because with Pepe suspended and Willian injured, Nelson will be very, very close to starting in the Premier League this weekend. And the next 3 games, if he goes and plays well again against Wolves at the weekend, then that could be it. He could get himself started in the North London derby the following week. So a really big couple of weeks coming up for Reese Nelson, and he certainly couldn't have done any more today. He was very, very good. Maybe with Nicolas Pepe and Balogun taking the headlines with their performances and their goals, but Nelson was very, very impressive as well. And it's quite interesting actually what Mikel Arteta had to say after the game. He said he has made some big steps in the last month or so. He has shown what we can do. He's another player that wants to take you on all the time. He's very vertical. He's great at running in behind. He's unpredictable. When we kind of asked him what's been the change in Nelson, he says he's so willing. He's asking for more all the time, individual meetings. He wants to work in the pitch and certain aspects that we believe he can improve. He's training really, really well. Physically, he's developed as well. He's had a click, which is interesting, I think. So it seems like Arteta believes that it's all kind of clicked for Reese Nelson recently, and that is behind his good performance tonight. And it'll be interesting to see if he does get that start on Sunday. Just on David Luiz, he went off injured. Mikel Arteta doesn't think it's anything serious, so hopefully, touch wood, David Luiz will be okay for the weekend if he plays. Right, player ratings time then. I'll give you what I think Arsenal players rated today. Runarsson in goal made one little nervous bit in the second half, and he came running out for a ball, missed it well outside his box. Fortunately, Ainsley Maitland-Niles got back to clear. But other than that, it was a quiet night really for him. There was that one chance that somehow Molde missed in the first half with an open goal, and somehow the guy came in and actually put it back towards Runarsson, who was on the opposite side. It looked like a good save from Runarsson. Well, it was a good save from Runarsson, but I don't think it was actually going in. It looked like it was going wide. But so Runarsson, I'm going to give it a 6. David Luiz went off at half time. I'm just going to give him a 5. It's tough to really mark him. So I'm going to give him a 5. I'll give Rob Holding, who replaced him, I'll give Rob Holding a 6 actually, because I thought he did pretty well when he came on in that second half. So Rob Holding will get a 6. Mustafi, I'm going to give it a 6. Cedric Suarez, I'll give a 6. I mean, there was nothing special from those two, but there was nothing bad either, so I'll give them both a 6. Ainsley Maitland-Niles I thought was good. I'm going to give Ainsley a 7 over on the kind of left that he was playing. In midfield, it was Joe Willock and Granit Xhaka. I thought Xhaka actually had a really good game. He sort of dictated things very well in the centre of the park. He went off in the second half, but I'll give Xhaka a 7. I thought Joe Willock was very good. He loves this competition, Joe Willock. He's set out the first 2 goals. Really willing runner all night. A good game from Joe Willock, so I'm going to give him an 8. Nicolas Pepe my man of the match. I've already said that really in this video. I think he topped the charts and all the stats. He scored, very good goal. Really unlucky not to get another couple. So I'm going to give Nicolas Pepe a 9, and my man of the match, Reese Nelson, I'm going to give an 8 on the other wing because I thought he did well. As I said, scored a goal, was bright in the first half especially. He was really, really bright. And played with really good intent, ran at Molde, caused them a lot of problems. So I'm going to give Reese an 8. Laka, kind of a struggle for Laka as well. He was playing in a number 10 role behind Eddie and Nketiah. Not much happened for him. He had one little nice bit of link up with Nelson in the first half, good pass for Nelson, which resulted in the keeper making a good save. And he had one good effort in the second half, actually, which the keeper again made a good save to keep him out. But other than that, it didn't really click for him. I don't think it didn't really quite work playing in that deeper role tonight. Didn't stop working throughout, so fair play to him for that. But I'm going to give Laka a 6, and Eddie as well. I'm going to give Eddie a 6. Almost gave Eddie a 5 because I thought it was a pretty poor night for Eddie. The ball was bouncing off him a lot. He missed a good chance of a header. Just didn't quite work out, but I'm not sure he warrants as low as a 5, so I'm probably going to give Eddie a 6. In terms of the substitutes, Balogun was only on for about 7 minutes, but I've got to mark him because he scored a goal. So I'm going to give Balogun a 7 because, look, when you're standing you're only playing 7 minutes and the manager asks you to send you on, you want to score, and he did that. So I'm going to give him a 7. Emil Smith-Rowe assists, I'll give Emil a 6 as well. And then the other 2 subs were Ceballos and Tierney. 50th Arsenal appearance for Danny Ceballos, but I can't really mark those 2 because they were on pretty late. So no, if I'm going to give them anything, it'll just be a 5 or a 6, but it's tough to really mark them, those 2 players. So that's about it from today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see if I get time tomorrow to pop on and do another one, talk about the fallout to the game in a little bit more detail. But if I don't run out of time for that, I apologise, but I will do my best to do it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy the start of your weekend starting tomorrow.